This is part 2 of lesson 2. The next thing we're going to do, we have the boy selected and we have the shadow selected. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click inside the area we just selected and drag it to the left. Photoshop displays a preview of the content that will replace the boy. Keep dragging to the left until the preview area no longer overlaps with the area occupied by the boy, but without overlapping the woman or the little girl. So we move over as far as we can to get rid of the boy. And so Photoshop automatically selects pixels, these pixels, and kind of mixes it in with what was pre-existing right here in order to create this image. Release the mouse button when the patch is complete, and then choose Select, Deselect, or Control D, which is the shortcut key. Now we're going to select the clone tool. Okay, so here's your clone tool. If you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is. You're going to click the clone tool in the tool panel. You're going to select a 60-point brush with the hardness of 30. So right here, we're going to click here. We want to hit 60 points. You can just type or move the slider, and then the hardness needs to be 30%. Click on 30%. Make sure that the aligned option is selected. Aligned is right over here in your options bar. Move the clone stamp tool to an area where the top of the bridge wall is smooth. That's the area you want to copy to smooth out the area that was patched. So right here, this is kind of a mess, so we want to copy this and move it over. So we're going to select these pixels and copy them over here. So press and hold Alt with your keyboard until your cursor changes. Click once with your mouse, let go of Alt, and then you can move your cursor over. See, it actually shows you what it's going to paint over here. You're going to click and drag over. So it kind of made things look a little bit nice. So we're on page 47 and number 5. It says select a source point where the bottom of the bridge wall is uneven. So right over here where it's a little bit uneven. Not super uneven, but it's not too bad. And then drag the clone tool across the bottom of the wall where you patched it. So I'm going to press Alt. I'm going to click right here and then move that over. I can see what I'm going to paint. Move it over. I'm going to align the lines to make it look nice. Good craftsmanship is really important. If you didn't get it the first time, go back and hit Alt, select New Pixels, and make it nice. Now select a smaller brush size. And then deselect the aligned. Then select a source point over the rightmost window in the lowest row of the building you patched. Click across to create accurate windows. So we're going to hit Alt and we're going to select this rightmost window, and then we're going to click over here and we're going to make some new windows on this part of the building. Doesn't look very good because they're not right next to each other, so I'm going to go to Edit, step back, and try it again. Press Alt and click, and then I'm going to align it manually, and now I'm going to go through and do the drawing. Okay? Looks a little more believable. Repeat what you just did in order to make this look nice again too. So press and hold Alt and then click over here, and we're just going to drag straight across. If you feel like you need to go back and hit Alt again, you can do that and to make that look good. Save your work. So sharpening the image, it looks pretty blurry right now. If we double click our hand tool, we can see it at full image. It looks pretty blurry. So we're going to zoom out to about 400%. If you click and hold Alt again, you can zoom out or zoom in to 400%. Let's see, we can show this little boy's shirt. So we're generally about 400% here. So zoom into about 400% to see the clarity of the boy's shirt. The colored dots you see are artifacts of the scanning process. Those little colored dots. Choose Filter, and then go to Noise, and then hit Dust and Scratches. See how it took that away? In the Dust and Scratches dialog box, leave the default settings with a radius of 1 pixel and the threshold at 0, and hit OK. Number 4, it says again, choose Filter, and then go down to Sharpen and Smart Sharpen. In the Smart Sharpen dialog box, make sure that Preview is selected, which it is, so you can see the effects of the settings you adjust in the image window. Make sure Lens Blur is chosen in the Remove menu, right here, Lens Blur. Drag the amount slider to about 60% to sharpen the image, or type it. Okay. Drag the radius slider to about 1.5. I think it's easier just to type it. And then when you're satisfied with the results, click OK to apply the Smart Sharpen filter. Choose File and Save, and you're ready to print your image. So a couple of lessons. We're done with this assignment. If you want to go back and you can do the extra credit, which is on page 50, it's about converting a color image to black and white. You can go ahead and do that. But I want to show you a couple of things that your book does not tell you, and one of them is the shortcut key to zoom in and out, which I told you before, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it, is to hit Alt on your keyboard and then use your scrolling key, or use your scroll option on your mouse. And then the other thing is to use your hand tool. You can press and hold the space bar, and then that'll, whatever, if I'm in the paintbrush tool and I press and hold space bar, I can still, I'm holding the space bar right now, I can still access that hand tool. It's a really nice thing to know. The other thing that the shortcut key that I talked about was if you have something selected, so let's say I have this selected and I want to quickly deselect, Control D on your keyboard will help you guys to quickly deselect. And that's it for lesson 2.